I come out of the bathroom to this. Are you still tired? It's funny. Somehow I was woken up with a tongue in my ear this morning, and it wasn't my own. And yet you're tired. Naked gun moment! Naked gun moment! Everywhere I look. Well, hello Lionhearts, it's your old pal Jordan the Lion. I know even though I started today's vlog with kind of a joke, it's because even though today's a sad vlog, we're gonna go visit LENARD, our great friend, true blue friend to this channel. We're gonna go visit his mom and his fiance. LENARD passed away in July this year, and he was one of my favorite people that I've ever gotten to meet through this channel. And he always loved those throwback things that I put in because we were the same age, so I just had to put in something from Naked Gun as we drove past it because I know he would have got a kick out of it. And today, I know as of about 2 weeks ago, LENARD's headstone is now up at his grave, and since he watched every single video here, I know that he would want me to share that with all of his friends because LENARD always participated in our live streams. He always commented. He was on many of the videos, and you know, LENARD was one of those people who I remember sending me text messages when I'd be down in the dumps telling me, "Don't worry, Jordan, no matter what you make, I'm along for the ride. I'm gonna watch every video you do because I trust you. You'll take me places even if I don't think I want to be there. I don't think I'll enjoy it. You always prove me right for watching you, so I will watch everything." So LENARD, I want to make this a special day, especially your mom and Jasmine are going to be in the video today, and I have some things that I have been carting around the world with me that I want to leave at your grave and give to your mother today. So today we're going to go visit LENARD Butler's grave, and we're in San Diego today. So Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. So one stop that we're making along the way is we're going to stop at a place called Harper's Topiary Garden. Wanted to check this out for quite a while, and I don't come to San Diego very often. Well, my friends, here it is. Harper's Topiary Garden. And there's someone working on the topiary right now. Look, we just made a new friend. Edna Scissorhands. Look at all that. How cool is that? Yeah, this is just something you can, kind of a roadside attraction. You can just come to visit it any time of the day. You know, as long as there's light out, but look at all that. That is so cool. Looks like there's a path. We'll see if we can maybe walk through it, or if you're allowed to. Wow, look at that. There's stuff everywhere. Bunnies and... Is that a frog? Oh, I just saw this, so we're not going to go try and walk through it or anything. We'll just admire it from here, but take a look at all that. Isn't that incredible? See what he's working on now? Two shapely women. Like I always say, one of the things I admire most about things like these are the mind, the imagination of the mind to conceive things like this. I love that. I myself could never like think this up in my mind and then go and attack and try and make it happen like these people did. That's so cool. Oh, is that a whale? Yeah, that's a whale. That's so cool. Oh, I just noticed at the bottom it says San Diego Zoo. So this is, looks like maintained by the zoo. There's an elephant right there. Huh. And obviously that's why they call it Harper's Topiary. This is the Harper house. Yeah, I think LENARD would have loved us sharing this. Alright my friends, I'm glad we got to check this out together. Now we're gonna take off and go pick up Jasmine. It's gonna be a little feel a little strange for me because I've never seen Jasmine without Lenard. They've always come to visit me in Hollywood. I've never seen them apart. We're gonna meet Jasmine over here at the train station. If only that fountain were on, this would be the perfect picture. All right, Jasmine and I are headed out to Mountain Hope Cemetery. We're gonna meet up with Lenard's mom out there. Thank you for coming out here and showing me, or like, I guess you're basically willing to tell everybody kind of what happened to Lenard, and you and I are gonna see the headstone together. You haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in person, only a picture, so this will be my first time seeing it in person.
I wonder how Lenard would feel about knowing that he's buried right next to this beautiful statue here. Look at that. He would have loved it, because look, she's holding a bunch of shoes. Lenard loved his shoes, I gotta tell you. If there's any, in fact, one of the last times I talked to him, he said he had a pair of shoes for me because I had given him a pair of shoes. Jasmine, would you mind kind of telling people, I know it's not the greatest thing to talk about, would you kind of mention what happened to Lenard? Or this was kind of related to long time thing, right? Or
yeah.
Something from childhood?
He's been a diabetic since he was, I think it was 15 when he got diagnosed. And it was, I guess it was juvenile diabetes.
Which can be worse.
Yeah,
I know people with that. It can be worse
be worse. His was the type that he needed to take insulin. So he took insulin. I think it was kind of up and down for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I think he had it under control sometimes, and then sometimes he didn't, you know. Because he would say too, that's because he wasn't always doing what he needed to be doing to take care of himself.
He told me that's why he lost his leg, right?
He admitted it. Like he knew that, yeah, it wasn't always what he was supposed to be doing.
Right.
And that's how it became that way. But with this time, we just thought it was going to be a routine surgery. Was
this diabetes related as well?
I would say so, because it had to do with his prosthetic rubbing against the leg.
Okay.
And then over time, they were saying that when that happens, and if you're a diabetic, it's sometimes easier to get a sore, like a cut.
Right. And for people that don't know, Lenard had his leg amputated, or
yes.
he told me it was because he let something go for too long, and so yes. That was something that he didn't tell people, but that he did deal with.
The thing with the leg, it started out first with his foot. He had something going on with his toe, turned into like a blister. When you're a diabetic, if that happens at times, it can be severe, because not all the time, but sometimes that can turn into something worse. And
right.
That's kind of what happened. It progressed. I think, yeah, he probably waited a little too long to get it first looked at
right.
originally. And first it was just the foot or the toes, and then later on down the line it was like half the foot maybe. Or,
right, you know. Right.
And then later on he ended up getting the below the knee amputation, and that was, yes, due to the diabetes. But this time, you know, he had just been going to work, and he was a home health care guy. Spent his life taking care of people. Yes, he was a caregiver. He had been doing it since he was like 15. And this time, like I said, we thought it was going to be a routine surgery. You go and get the surgery, you might be there a few days, and then you come home. Yeah. And we take care of him, or I take care of him, or the home health nurse takes care of him, and it just ended up turning around for the worst. He had one surgery, right? He had one on the 4th, I think it was. July 4th. July 4th, he had a surgery. His mother and grandmother came to visit him that day. A little bit later, our daughter and myself, we came to visit him. He was doing pretty well. He was in good spirits. You know, we were watching TV, cracking jokes, you know, having a good time. The next day, he was resting. They let him rest that whole day. Basically, that next time he got the second surgery was on the 6th, I think it was. And that second surgery, basically they said, I think his heart was acting up somewhat on the monitor. They couldn't wake him up, they were saying. They were having to work on him for a while to try to like resuscitate him. He went into code blue that day. They were able to get him back resuscitated, but had to put him on breathing monitors.
Yeah.
So he was in ICU for 2 days. On the 7th, he was still there, but then on the 7th, later on, sometime during that day, he code blued again. I think it either happened once or twice that day, and I think...
What is code blue for people that don't know?
Code blue means like you're basically about to die.
Right, you're not breathing.
You're not breathing, you're not getting no oxygen to your brain. When you don't get enough oxygen to your brain, you can go brain dead, and that's what happened to him.
So then they tested him, he had went brain dead.
They did a CAT scan, they didn't see any type of whatever shows up on a CAT scan saying basically a brainwave.
Right, no activity.
Yeah, and so then on the 7th, when that happened again, basically his family, we all talked about it. I know his mother didn't want him to suffer. I didn't want him to suffer.
And he wouldn't have wanted to anyway. He wouldn't have wanted
having to keep getting resuscitated. Right. And what kind of life is that? Because you're on monitors and you're brain dead. You can't live if you're brain dead.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want to just be on monitors for his whole life and people visiting.
Absolutely. He was the one that took care of everybody else. Yeah.
So it's like you wouldn't.
A tough decision that the family had to make.
Yes. It was very tough. But on the 7th is when he passed.
Now, didn't the doctors tell him like a decade before that his when they looked at his body or his health that he was basically like a 70-year-old man?
It was like, I think he had told me like 70, 75, something like that the doctor had told him. On the outside, yes, you look young, but the inside with the way his health was and how it kind of had over time
taken time,
worn on his body, the diabetes. Yes, they said the doctor told him, I believe his mom said 70 or 75 he looked like on the inside. And
you and I, when it happened, we said kind of the same thing. We're like, he spent his whole life taking care of everybody he knew. It's almost like he just wore out. You know, it was just his time to rest now.
That's what, and I think that's what me and his mom had talked about at the hospital. Basically, he had been fighting with his body, trying to be okay and get better, and every time it's getting set back because he might end up being in the hospital again. So then it kind of was like he was always trying to catch up with the health. Yeah. You know, and I don't know, me and his mom were talking, and we just think maybe he just was tired on the inside. You know, like his heart was probably just tired. And
he was somebody who always was like telling everybody that God would take care of him. So now he will be forever in God's kingdom, you know. There's Lenard's father and his mother. They brought me his obituary from the service. We got here and we had to wipe off his headstone. There was dirt all over it. We knew we all laughed. We said Lenard would not be okay with having dirt on his headstone. There he is. Looking good, brother. Look at that.
You know, Lenard, he says, hey, Mom, why you didn't tell me you had 4 steps I had to come down? You had those steps. I said, it ain't but about 3 or 4 steps, Lenard. He said, that's easy for you to say. You ain't missing a leg and a foot with no toes. I started laughing.
The leg doesn't mean the prosthetic didn't mean.
He said, that's easy for you. It was so funny. We laughed. Lenard was funny. He was.
He was. He had a great sense of humor.
He used to say, look at, he talked about my brother. And my brother used to wear like 2 little shirts. He'll say, look at Uncle Jay with that extra medium shirt on.
He used to say Uncle Jay looked like he could be in the pits. When he had a suit on one time, Lenard was like, look at you in the pit.
Yeah, Lenard was funny.
He would imitate. He said, you used to do a dance like this.
Yeah.
And one time I put my arm up and he was, honey, what you doing? I said, I'm doing what you do, what you say your daddy does. And he said, put your arm, the other arm down. I said, oh, it's not the arm. He said, not this one, put that arm.
When he was a little boy, he worshipped the ground his dad walked on. He see keep coming, he'd be running, Daddy, And one day I was driving next to Keith. Keith was driving next to us, and Lenard seen him, and he's a little kid, and he just started crying because he wanted to go with his dad. Yeah, I said, "No, you going with me?" It's like, "No, my daddy." He did. He worshipped the ground his daddy walked on. When we got out the car, Lenard, he had the crutches. So the doctor, when we walked in, he said, "I wanted to see if you were really serious about getting the prosthesis." He said, because some people be lazy. He said, and it depends on how you came in here. If you would have came in here in a wheelchair, I would have said, no, he ain't ready. He said, but you came in here on crutches. Lenard said, yeah, because I want to go back to work.
Yeah.
And the guy said, he said, I was really proud of you because you don't see that too often. Most of the time, people want people to have pity on them, but he said you're not like that, and he wasn't like that. He tried to do everything himself.
And plus, Lenard's job was taking care of other people,
right.
And if he wasn't taking care of somebody, he didn't feel like he was doing his job.
Right. Yeah.
He took care of everybody he knew.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
It's crazy. People that never even met him through watching this channel just love Lenard, It's crazy. I was thinking the other day, if Lenard hadn't come one day, and you guys took me after I had my surgery, that video has almost 1 million views.
Oh,
almost
really?
1 million people know who Lenard is in the world. That brings a big smile to my face, because he's so happy and so fun in that video that I go, everybody gets to see what he's really like,
That's touching. That's really touching. God, because I didn't see it the first time, and so I was just crying, oh my God, because people were commenting saying,
yeah, when we mentioned that he passed.
Him. Yeah, when you mentioned that he passed, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't see it, until every now and then I'll look at that video again, but I start crying. But
I think everybody that knows him felt a tear. He was just one of those people.
Yeah, I just cried and cried. And see, I'm not on Facebook, so when it first happened, one of my girlfriends called me and she said, you need to look at Lenard's page. She said, all the comments that people are making. So I told my other son, Lamont, I said, will you go on Lenard's page? I want to see it. He said, no, you don't, because you're going to be crying. And I said, I don't care. I just want to see what people are saying. And I was boo-hooing.
Oh, yeah.
It was so touching. It made me feel good, though, to see the people. I said, when I told Jasmine, I said, I thought he only loved me like that. I didn't know he was doing it to everybody. I said, I didn't know he was like that to everybody.
I went on there, too, and the first thing that struck me was it wasn't just, I'm going to miss you. It was everybody telling a story. Right. Telling memories. They all had a definitive memory of where he touched their life. It was just so wonderful.
Yep, I did not know that. I did not know. I said I just thought he was like that with us. I didn't know he was like that with everybody. Oh my God! The teachers and the principal. You
don't hear that 20 years after someone graduates that the teachers that he had come to the funeral.
They were at the service. Yeah,
it was
really.
Guys he played football.
Yeah, it was so touching. It was so touching. I just was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, they came. I wasn't expecting to see any of them.
He was an extraordinary person. I mean, he touched a lot of lives. That's one of the guys that came, he was the football coach that Lenard, and he loved Lenard. I mean, he loved him. And so he got up and told, he got up and told the story about, he said, if I could build a team around, Lenard would be my most valuable player, and I would build the team around greatest attitude, yeah.
And so he says, but I never told him that because I didn't want him and Lamont to be fighting, because they both played for the same team. Yeah. So he said, I never told him that. He said, but he would have been my all-time pick, because Lenard was just dynamic. He said, it was so touching how he got up there and spoke. He even said that his daughter, because he used to give them a ride to school for us, and his daughter was, how old was she? She was a little girl. She was probably like, I say 4 or 5 or something. And so Lenard would see her every day because he'd take her to school with them. And he said that when Lenard passed, he said, I would always ask her, do you remember so-and-so? Do you remember so-and-so? She said, no. She said, when Lenard passed, I asked her, do you remember Lenard? She said, yeah. He said, but that's because he used to play with her and spend time with her.
Of course, yeah. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. Nobody like you. This is so cool. Jasmine just gave me this and she said that this was LENARD's and that she wanted me to have it. And as soon as she opened it up, I said I would love to have it because I have a picture of LENARD wearing this. Check it out. It's his lion necklace. Well, that was really, really nice of LENARD's mother and father and Jasmine to come out and, I guess, help me get some closure as well as them. So we wanted, all of us wanted to make sure that if anybody wants to come out and visit LENARD, you can. So if you come in and you want to visit LENARD, go up to the office and ask for the Our Lady of Shoes statue, which is what this is. We were, you know, early on we were kind of laughing because LENARD loved his shoes, but we didn't realize how funny it really was until Jasmine mentioned, look, she's holding cowboy boots. LENARD loved sports and his favorite football team was the Cowboys, and as much as they would make him mad, he was always a fan no matter what, so we kind of thought it was fitting that he would be across. So from this statue to find LENARD, you turn around and you walk and you'll see about 4 trees over here. He's kind of in between the 3 of them that make a triangle. So you would walk just to the right of this tree and he's right over here. See here, you can see a tree over here and a tree over here and then one right here. We also laughed because LENARD is the youngest person by far in this section, which he would have loved. He loved to take care of people, so everyone here in this section is pretty much born in 1901. Well, my friends, I'm gonna call it a night. You know, LENARD was a real special guy, and I don't believe that anything happens by chance. I think that people are meant to come into your life, and one of the things that LENARD did for my life was that when I had a tumor in my hand and I had surgery and I couldn't go out and vlog on my own, I couldn't drive, I wasn't allowed to, he and Jasmine came up here and took me out vlogging, and they took me to the Ike and Tina house. And if you remember when I vlogged that video now has 900,000 views. I would have never made that video if they wouldn't have come up here. He offered to take me anywhere I wanted to go, and I said, hey, no, wherever you guys are going, sightseeing is cool with me. He said, we want to go to the Ike and Tina house where they filmed What's Love Got to Do with It. So thanks to LENARD, this channel got thousands of viewers that probably never would have found it. They found it through that channel. One of LENARD's favorite comedians, Lunel, watches this vlog, and she found it through the Ike and Tina video. It's just kind of crazy how that works, and for me it's kind of cool that LENARD's memory will live on, and he will live on in those videos. He passed away at 35 years old. You know, this was a sad day, but it was a happy day because I hated seeing that the reality was that he's gone. But we spent 2.5 hours exchanging funny stories and me getting to hear about LENARD's life and actually celebrating his life, and it just made me think that, you know, for a guy who passed away at 35, he sure brought a lot of love into this world, and he sure got to do a lot. You know, he always looked good and was popping, always had a pretty cool wardrobe when you saw him. And today his mom said, you know, I remember when he came to my house one time and he had a leopard print shoes, a leopard print bow tie and hat, some black jeans, and I looked at him and said, LENARD, you could have not $1 in your pocket, nobody'd know it because you always look good. And I thought about that today because he enjoyed his life. He lived it to the fullest, as full as he was able to. And at 35 years old, he said goodbye. Don't neglect yourself in your own life. Don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses, and don't forget to let the people that you love know that you appreciate them, because you don't ever know when they're going to be gone. Have a good night. Goodbye.